two Las Vegas Strip hotels owned by Caesars Entertainment charge identical fees, yet one sparked a viral scandal that had social media users calling it insanity and awful. The Flamingo and the LINQ site practically next to each other on the Strip, both operated by this gaming giant, but their approach to extracting money from guests tells a fascinating story about how the same corporate machine can generate wildly different public reactions. The Flamingo Las Vegas has been anchoring the Strip since Billy Wilkerson started development there in 1946, though Bugsy Siegel and Meyer Lansky's mob financing ultimately completed the project. It is the oldest continuously operating resort on the Strip, a piece of mob history turned corporate empire now owned by Caesars Entertainment, with the actual real estate held by Vici Properties REIT. Right next door sits the LINQ, a property with an identity crisis so severe it has been renamed 4 times since 1959. It was originally the Flamingo Capri, then the Imperial Palace, briefly the Quad, and finally the LINQ, after a $223 million renovation in 2014. Both hotels now charge identical resort fees of $49.95 per night, which becomes $56.63 after Nevada's taxes, and those fees are regulated under Clark County gaming ordinances and overseen by the Nevada Gaming Control Board. Both demand a $50 nightly deposit. Both follow the same Caesars Entertainment parking policy, $20 to $25 per day for self-parking, depending on whether you visit during the week or the weekend. Unlike MGM Resorts Bellagio, which waives resort fees for certain loyalty members, Caesars maintains uniform fee structures across properties. On paper, they are financial twins, but dig deeper and you will discover how the same fee structure can feel completely different depending on execution. Let's start with the scandal that put the Flamingo's nickel and diming practices in the spotlight. In 2025, a social media post showing a $60 early check-in fee on a digital kiosk at the Flamingo went viral. $60 plus tax, just to get into your room a few hours early. The internet exploded. One Facebook user sarcastically wrote, "Welcome to Las Vegas. We now charge more while offering less." The outrage wasn't just about the amount, though $60 is steep. It was about the audacity. The Flamingo is a mid-tier resort charging what luxury properties like Wynn and Encore charge, $75 for early check-in, when a 3-star hotel demands near-luxury prices for basic services, people notice. The viral moment crystallized something guests had been feeling for years. One commenter said casinos on the Strip are earning a reputation for employing new ways to charge visitors for things that used to be considered basic hospitality. The Flamingo's $60 early check-in fee became the poster child for Las Vegas greed. That decline caught the attention of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority's ongoing hospitality monitoring efforts. But here is where it gets interesting. The LINQ charges similar fees, yet it largely avoided the social media firestorm. The answer lies not in the fees themselves, but in how they are presented and what guests' expectations are. The LINQ markets itself as a budget-friendly option. When you book a room expecting bare-bones service, surprise fees feel different than when you are staying somewhere with a storied history and higher expectations. The LINQ's own customers tell a different story about hidden costs. One guest complained about booking what they thought was a $180 stay that turned into a $500 stay really fast due to fees they did not know about until they were at the kiosk being rushed to swipe their card. This is the modern Vegas experience. Surprise billing at digital check-in kiosks where you are pressured to agree to charges you never saw coming. Both properties follow the same corporate playbook, but their execution reveals how the same policies can generate different levels of customer fury. The Flamingo's late checkout fee perfectly illustrates this. They charge $70 plus tax to keep your room until 4 p.m. on departure day. One reviewer noted they could book an entire additional night at a comparable property for under $70, including tax. You are literally paying the same amount for 4 extra hours as you would for 24. The parking situation shows how Caesars Entertainment has systematized the nickel approach across both properties. Self-parking costs $20 Monday through Wednesday and $25 Thursday through Sunday. Valet is $40 daily at the Flamingo if you want the service. The LINQ does not even offer valet parking, eliminating any choice in the matter. It is a perfect example of how the same company can make one property feel more limiting than the other simply by removing options. What makes this particularly galling is the timeline of fee increases. In March 2020, as the pandemic was shutting down the world, both properties increased their resort fees from $35 to $37 per night. Now, as of January 2025, those fees have jumped to $49.95, a 43% increase in 5 years. Meanwhile, what do guests get for that resort fee? Access to amenities that were once considered basic hotel services. The Federal Trade Commission finally stepped in with new rules that took effect in May 2025, requiring hotels to display total prices including resort fees up front. As FTC Chair Lena Khan said, people deserve to know up front what they are being asked to pay without worrying that they will later be saddled with mysterious fees that they have not budgeted for and cannot avoid. But here is the catch. The new rules require transparency, not elimination. You will still pay the fees, you will just know about them sooner. The room experience at both properties reflects their different approaches to extracting value. Flamingo rooms are larger but dated, with stained carpets and decor desperately needing a refresh. Some rooms come with a fridge and a coffee maker, others do not. You might find only one pillow on the bed and 4 hangers for 2 people. It feels like staying in a place that has given up on maintaining standards while continuing to charge premium fees. LINQ rooms tell a different story. They are smaller, so small that only one person can be in the bathroom at a time, but they are in better condition after a $223 million renovation funded partially through Vici Properties' real estate investment structure. Standard rooms often lack basic amenities like microwaves and refrigerators. It is budget accommodations with budget amenities, but at least it is honest about what you are getting. The pool situation perfectly encapsulates the difference in philosophy. The Flamingo offers a larger, family-friendly pool area that feels like a party. The LINQ's pool is smaller and restricted to guests 21 and older. But here is the twist. LINQ guests can walk 3 minutes to use the Flamingo's pool. It is a classic Vegas move. They charge the same resort fee, but provide access to amenities at the property next door. Both properties sit on historically significant land. The Flamingo occupies the site where Billy Wilkerson originally envisioned his desert dream, though Bugsy Siegel and Meyer Lansky's mob financing completed the project that opened on December 26, 1946. The casino lost $300,000 in its first week, equivalent to about $3.7 million today. By late 1947, construction costs had ballooned to over $6 million, worth about $73 million in today's money. Siegel was murdered 6 months after opening, shot while reading the newspaper on June 20, 1947. The last of his original structures was demolished in 1993, but the Flamingo still trades on that notorious history, and it leans on its mob past while charging modern fees. The LINQ sits on what was once the Flamingo Wash, which the original Flamingo Capri advertised as a Venetian canal in 1959. The property has always been prone to flooding, including a 1975 incident that left water damage throughout the casino. Even today, the lower level of the LINQ parking garage floods when it rains heavily. You are paying $20 to $25 a day to park in a flood zone. Flood risk is part of the calculus. Ralph Engelstad transformed the Flamingo Capri into the Imperial Palace in the 1970s and the 1980s, building it into the second largest privately owned hotel in the world by the time of his death in 2002. Caesars Entertainment acquired the property in 2005 for $370 million, then spent years trying to figure out what to do with it. The name changes tell the story. Imperial Palace became the Quad in 2012, then the LINQ in 2014. As one industry observer noted, the new name, the Quad, failed to catch on, so the hotel was renamed the LINQ. The current fee structure represents the culmination of decades of corporate ownership consolidation. When you stay at either property, you are not just paying for a room, you are funding a massive corporate machine that owns 8 Las Vegas Strip properties through Caesars Entertainment's management and Vici Properties' ownership structure. This gaming conglomerate has perfected the art of extracting maximum revenue while providing minimum service, and both the Flamingo and LINQ serve as laboratories for testing how much guests will tolerate under Nevada Gaming Control Board regulations. Some guests can avoid the worst fees if they know the system. Caesars rewards members at Diamond, Platinum, or 7 stars levels get free parking. Resort fees might be waived for high-level gamblers who reach certain play thresholds. Nevada residents can get complimentary self-parking Sunday through Thursday through early 2026. But these exceptions prove the rule. The fee structure is designed to extract money from casual visitors who do not know how to game the system. Free perks are limited to a small set of insiders. So who nickel and dimes more? The answer is neither and both. They are the same corporate entity using identical fee structures, but with different execution strategies. The Flamingo leverages its historical reputation to charge premium fees for mid-tier service, generating viral outrage when the disconnect becomes too obvious. The LINQ manages expectations by marketing itself as budget-friendly while still hitting you with the same fees, just with less fanfare. The real nickel and diming champion is Caesars Entertainment itself, which has created a system where 2 adjacent properties can charge identical fees while making guests feel like they are getting completely different value propositions. Whether you choose the mob history and dated rooms of the Flamingo or the modern mediocrity of the LINQ, you will pay the same resort fee, the same parking fee, the same deposit. The only difference is whether you will feel like you are being robbed by a piece of Vegas history or by a corporate rebranding exercise. In the end, both properties represent the modern Las Vegas experience, maximum extraction with minimum pretense. The house always wins, not just at the tables, but at the front desk, in the parking garage, and at every digital kiosk along the way. The question isn't who nickel and dimes more. It's whether you prefer your nickel and diming served with a side of mob nostalgia or contemporary corporate efficiency.